Hi, everybody. For this episode of Retention Zone, I'm happy to have with me someone that I met a long time ago, even if he looks amazingly young, around some golf course, if I remember well. Hi, Marc. Marc Fernandez,
Hi,
now at DAZN. Ciao. A bit about you and the few places, very cool places you have been in your career, just to start.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, just want to kind of put it out there that obviously everything that I discuss and viewpoints are all of my own and nothing to do with my employers or anything like that. So just want to start with that. But yeah, we'll kick things off with the fact that, yeah, I've been in the sports industry for a long time now. OG, as they like, the youngers like to call it. So 15 plus years now in the sports industry. Started off my career at in market research and then worked with the Home Retail Group in customer loyalty, but then quickly migrated into the world of sport. And first venture into the world of sport was Arsenal Football Club, looking after retail marketing over there and CRM systems over there. Then came over to the European Tour, where I met Carlo and the Delta Tray outfit. So we were the kind of pioneers of the OTT space with the European Tour TV product way back then. Moved on from there into the agency landscape, learning how to build platforms with Invico, recently acquired by Havas Group. Then from there, went into the URC, United Rugby Championship. Yep. So they were originally called Pro 14 and worked on rebranding them. Then short stint and venture into the world of agency again with Rock Nation. And from there went into Live Golf. And now I'm on the broadcast landscape with DAZN.
So it's good. You had almost every vision point you can have in our industry.
Yeah, so quite a lot of prerogatives and challenges and understanding of challenges from the different types of angles and viewpoints that touch the digital landscape and OTT landscape, obviously.
But I don't want to say unique, but at least in my experience, the good and why I like to have you on this podcast is you have been a direct-to-consumer marketer for all your career, basically, if I can say that.
Yeah.
So I'm always curious to understand how you see, obviously, marketing in this space is about monetization. It seems a bit unsexy, but that's what it is. And how do you see the current state of monetization in streaming? And obviously, because the name of the channel, how do you see through the years the evolution of how media companies, sport companies, or brands are trying to retain customers direct to consumer, obviously?
The landscape's changed a considerable amount since way back when we started the European Tour TV product that was fully ad funded, fully brand partnership funded by Rolex. So it's changed quite significantly from something that's been an investment has been an investment point of view from a brand through to a direct to consumer property. And I think the likes of MLB really pioneered that, and that's why we kind of ventured into that space, because we could see kind of where it was heading. And now, lo and behold, we're in this landscape now, 15 years in from when we started experimenting with this notion and concept of OTT. So yeah, it's changed quite considerably. I still think that there are a number of different monetization verticals in the OTT landscape. You've got ad models, brand partnership models. Obviously, now that you've got a big ecosystem, a big consumer base now in this streaming environment, not just in sports, but in general entertainment consumption with now TVs and the Netflixes of this world, you're going to see that kind of still be there. There'll still be a number of different monetization models. There'll be a lot more concepts of micro payments and things like that you see as add-ons, in my opinion. And I think that it's not early because it's been here for a while, but it's still early in terms of how we truly land on the right funding and monetization models for these properties.
And in the current scenario, how do you see subscription evolve? Do you think subscription is a strong monetization model, has it changed a lot? Have we learned something in the last 5 to 10 years? And obviously COVID in between, I think, gave us some lesson too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's here to stay. I think the subscription model is here to stay. If you look at it, if you look at how it is in just general society, you've got subscriptions for your food now. You've got subscriptions for not just OTT products, but SaaS products. I think it's just part of the psyche and part of the mentality. So I think the subscription model is going to be here to stay. If you look at the new kind of AI platforms that are out there, they're all catering to subscription models, micro payment models with add-ons, credits, and things like that. So I think we're in a very interesting landscape with how that's just going to be more widely accepted by society and just part of the regular. Whereas when we first started these types of projects, we didn't know whether that's going to be the how the landscape was going to unfold and evolve. But it just seems that that's just the way that consumption habits are now.
And in terms of growth, what is your strategy in general for growing? Are you focusing on acquisition? It's obviously acquisition and retention are always playing somehow together. I understand it depends on the phase and maybe the market and the new products you may have. Can you go a bit, if you want, one level down, deep down into these direct consumer marketing strategies and tactics that you have seen applied in general?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think it's just about acquisition anymore. I think retention is such a crucial and important part of how you market to a user base. I think making sure that your platforms, your product offering, your content offering is as sticky as possible to keep people coming back. I think it's, it's just kind of traditional marketing concepts, but it's a lot easier to retain a consumer base than acquire a consumer base. So a lot of the strategies that I've been involved with have been, how do we effectively create the right marketing ecosystem as well as product ecosystem that keep people coming back to the platform and adding value as well, adding value to the experience. And that's why in a lot of the products and projects that I've been working on, in particular here at DAZN, we're trying to make sure that that consumer engagement element is at the kind of the top of our thoughts as to how we strategically acquire content, but then also strategically build our product to make it as sticky as possible and keep people coming back. Because I mean, the acquisition is always, as you can imagine, quite an expensive route to go down. We're wanting to make sure that we're investing in the right areas to keep people coming back and ultimately add the best and most value to their experience when they're engaging with us. And that's just not just in the DAZN ecosystem, but any project that I've been part of and been working on. It's just how do you balance the acquisition and retention sides of the business to create that constant kind of feedback loop that keep us grounded and keep us true in terms of what we want to build for the consumer at the end of the day.
So there are a few things I'm curious to know about. One, I'm so happy you mentioned product and together with marketing, because I come from product, if you want, and I working on big sports OTT. It took me some years to convince that not only product and marketing, but maybe either other angle of the organization have to work together, especially for retention. Because if for acquisition, the product is important because that's the promise. Yeah? That's what I'm giving you, but it's a bit disconnected. Maybe everything to do with retention, apart than the marketing actions, his product becomes central, and product and marketing have, in my view, to work absolutely as one team. But if you have any experiences or and what's your opinion on that, to be honest?
Yeah, and I think there's actually a third ingredient in the mix now, just with the way that people kind of consume media, and that's the content. I think absolutely. Content, product, marketing all need to work like glue together to make something work and make and deliver something that's truly meaningful for the fan, for the consumer, that really kind of pulls at not just their heartstrings, but actually they are able to get value out of. So that's why I think those three ingredients are super important in the current landscape to retain that audience, but then also to acquire the right audience as well. So through my experience, I think, yeah, having worked in all of those areas actually now, so I'm able to kind of give a good good vision and prerogative as to how they can work in tandem with each other. I mean, from a marketing perspective, which is the role that I currently fit at DAZN, working closely with our content teams, with our rights acquisition team, with our product team to really land on the real value that we're bringing to the fan is super important, because that's the headline of all of our messaging in all of the marketing communications that we go out there, and then working closely with our CRM team to communicate that to our existing base and cross-pollinate to bases that we think that might like and want to consume a different sport in the territory is really important as well. So the three need to work in tandem constantly, and there's constant feedback loops and there's constant debates that we have to have as to where the priorities lie at certain life stages for fan bases and things like that as well, or regional development. So yeah, constant feedback loop, constant testing and learning, constant kind of seeing what works, what doesn't work, and obviously doing more of what works is going to be the ecosystem that we continuously live in to build better products, to build better content offerings for the fans, because that's ultimately what it lies down to. Like, we want to create meaningful content propositions, product propositions that really engage with fan bases, so that they keep coming back to our platforms, but then also they're inspired to play that sport or engage in that sport, because that's ultimately what we're here for.
And do you think this is something not only where you work now, but something that the industry has understood, or just the top high-level modern organization have understood this?
No, I think people
maybe, especially in sport organization, there are still a lot of silos, but that's my point of view.
Yeah, I think people are cognizant of it. I mean, it's always been kind of a strategy-led thing, because of obviously they're the ones doing the research as to where the numbers lie. But I mean, all the fans have a voice. So with social media now, you can clearly hear that voice in all the comments and posts and feeds that you get when you make any of these decisions. So we're reacting really well to that here at DAZN. We've obviously had massive successes with the Club World Cup, and we're looking to kind of use a lot of those learnings so that we can continuously improve our product and build a product into the future that's going to engage with as big and broader fan base as possible.
But sport compared to entertainment, even if I think now even entertainment has a bit of the same problem, the seasonality of sport, but also the fact that now not only DAZN, but many of these platforms have additional products. No? You've done it with NFL Game Pass, etc. So there is a moment where not only there is like a long-term retention, so I have all these customers, but you may have customers that come in for something and you need to find a way to keep them. So there are these bursts of acquisition due to content, events, etc. Do you think sport is a bit more, I don't want to say sophisticated, but has its own specificity because of seasonality, pop-up events, etc.?
No, I think it's similar to other industries. I mean, seasonality. I mean, from my experience in the retail world, you'd have seasonality around Christmas, spring offers, summer offers. Yeah. Travel industry has obviously seasonality. So I don't think it's a unique challenge for us. I think the unique challenge for us is that we've got very passionate, vocal fan bases and fans that interact with our platform. So providing them with the experience that helps them harness that fandom and passion is kind of what's important for us. So how we spring up the right social media kind of channels so that we can engage with that fan base, how we develop the right experience on platform. Like, we've enhanced our fan zone experience, for example, on the DAZN platform, which is really engaging now for fan bases that engage with our football product, in particular off the back of the Club World Cup. And so how do we develop more of these meaningful experiences that add value to them as they engage with the core property, which is obviously the live product and the live sports experience.
And in terms of tools and data, so how important is, it's almost a rhetorical question, how important is to have the right set of tools and the right set of data? And do you think we are in a good place? So have these things evolved? Because I've seen a lot of metrics put in huge database at a certain point, I'm never sure everything is used properly. Maybe in organization like yours, I imagine it is, but I see still a lot of space to improve.
Yeah, it's super important. I mean, data is a complementary to kind of everything, but it's not, well, historically it's been a complementary, but it's an essential now for every single decision that we make, whether it be a product-based decision, a content-based decision, a marketing-based decision. Those three kind of elements and ingredients that I mentioned earlier all leverage and utilize data to the nth degree. And with obviously AI technologies and probability and forecasting and things like that, we're utilizing it and need to utilize it to its full extent, so that we can really understand what our fan base is not just saying on comments on social media, but what they're actually physically doing with how they interact with that platform, the content they're consuming, the marketing campaigns that they're engaging with. It's all essential to make sure that we're honing in on doing more of the right things and less of the things that aren't working.
And that's data and tools for decision. What about the actionable part? Have also tools improved the fact, okay, we decide that we create a new sector. Sorry, I'm not a big director of marketing myself, but decision is understood. You have data, you have the tools, and AI will improve that, and we'll talk about that a bit later. But what about, okay, now we want to do that. It's still a lot of human interaction and sending. Sorry, I'm sure it's not happening like that, but in the past I've seen Excel file being sent with, okay, do something with these people because they're
everyone still uses Excel files as well.
So now, I hopefully not. Do you think that the actionability part need better tools, or you think we're where we should be?
Yeah, I think it all depends on the property and kind of the seasonality of the property. But I think, yeah, data in terms of, are you talking about like automation, how quickly that insights is used from an automated perspective into
exactly
actually yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with there's so many kind of unknowns and so many like different ways that you can use the data. In terms of automation of the data, I think that will always be quite subjective, particularly in a field like sport, because there's, especially on a platform like DAZN, there's so many different kind of sports and properties and things like that. I think automation, we've been speaking about it for a very long time now. I mean, since way back when we started talking about CRM systems, etc., at the European Tour Group, etc. So I think the automation, I think there's still a human element to how we use and interpret the data. I think the automations will be coming, and there's things that you can kind of like automate, like whether it be push notifications or email sends and things like that, that are all dependent upon how we segment our audience and choose to engage with that audience using the data of what they've consumed or the elements of the product offering that they're really engaged with. But I think the fully automated world is still a little bit further down the line. But I think with now the recent developments with AI, that's an area that is primed for looking at in a lot more detail. But within the ecosystems that I've been involved with, there's still that human touch, human element that needs to be kind of sprinkled in when interpreting the data, because of the emotional nature of sport, but then also the ongoing conversations and fluid conversations that we have globally within the different regions that we work on, and the different sports properties as well.
So I think that's a space where agentic AI seems to be the solution, but I can imagine how scary a marketing manager, a lead marketing manager could be of saying, okay, now the agents are sending push notification email or suggestion in the app to personalize to each fan. How do I control that? If not,
yeah, I mean, that's the holy grail. That's like where we've tried to get to for the past 15 years. I mean, before AI, it was the CRM system, isn't it? That would do that with a Salesforce, Microsoft Dynamics, or whatnot, whatever it is that organizations were probing. But we've never really gotten there, because there's always this kind of human element that is needed to help kind of prioritize, help classify. But yes, in this world of AI, that's those decisions are going to be made a lot swifter and a lot easier, because the processing of that data is going to be a lot more readily available to decision makers and people like you and I that can then quite quickly interpret and visualize the data, because that's been the hard bit. We've always had these massive data touch points and huge volumes of data, but it's been hard and a lot of number crunching to get it to something that's meaningful. I think that's where AI is going to help us considerably, is to make that data a lot more meaningful, to be able to make the decisions quickly.
And one subject that is always difficult for me, I cannot intellectually manage it properly, is win back.
Okay.
I always feel a bit of friction. So both on if I'm on the platform side or if I'm on the consumer side. Have you learned what is your best strategy for win back?
Yeah, and I mean, I've had this conundrum quite a lot through my whole experience, and actually even more so in my retail days when I was working at Home Retail Group, is that win back, like they must have come in for a reason. So that win back strategy is quite important to get them coming back, but then they might have just moved on. They're at a different life stage, they're at a different point of time. But I think you have to give yourself an opportunity for that win back, don't you? You have to give yourself an opportunity. There was a reason that they had engaged with you before. So that win back is quite an important one, because it's a chance to re-engage with them, but then also utilize the data that you have on that person or persona, to give them the best kind of possible chance of you getting that win back. And if they don't re-engage beyond that, then that's when you move on. But with all the data that we have now of how people are consuming, people are interacting with you, that win back offer or that win back engagement strategy can be a lot more meaningful now, based on their experience with yourself and the data that you have on them.
And one thing that a lot of people started talking about, a kind of, we have to accept a certain level of churn, meaning because of how the consumption works, and also streaming platform, you can go to a free layer, you stop your subscription, but you're not out, you're in a free layer that still offer you something, because as you said, different life stages, or you lost interest in something, but then you buy the rights for something that is really super cool for me, I'm coming back. So is there like kind of the concept of a silent consumer that is there, may re-engage at some point for something for free, and then you keep him, like, not in the shop, but at least in the city around your property? Is it something just that I'm just dreaming of, or it is an opportunity and something you need to accept, but it's just better than just losing completely someone?
Yeah, it's a big opportunity, and I think there's tiers, isn't it? I mean, social media, you can see as a tier, your YouTube channels, your TikTok channels, your Instagram channels is a tier, and is a free tier. There's a tier of how do you enhance that experience by building the best possible freemium experience when you're on a platform as well. So I think yeah, you're definitely in the right kind of ball camp from my experience, as to you want to engage with an audience that's at wherever it is that they are, whether it be on social, whether it be on your platform, and try and build that funnel, as the cliche of the marketing funnel, but that funnel, so that when they are in that mindset that, oh, there is a right or a piece of content that's that they're really engaged with, that you're kind of able to jump on that chance at any given stage, wherever they are in the funnel.
And one last question, which is a bit connected to your role, global. Very often people say, oh, it's a global platform. But I know that managing global platform or global audiences or global product, it's super, super sophisticated. So if you want, give me the meaning in your experience of the word global. What does it mean for you, global? What are the problematic? What are the differences if you're managing something global?
Yeah, I mean, global. I mean, it's the audience, isn't it? It's like the audience is different depending upon kind of where they fall in the world, but then also, yeah, what life stage they are, etc. So you have to kind of mind map all of those different scenarios and different strategies, and then prioritization is the key as well. It's just understanding kind of where the consumer base is most engaged with you, but then also making sure that you, to our point earlier, you still have a strategy that is there able to jump at the chance when someone strikes some interest in a specific product, content, or property. So yeah, global does bring a lot of challenges, and I think I've always kind of liked the old HSBC motto, where be global, think local, is always something that struck home with me when developing kind of global propositions and global marketing strategies.
And but one thing that I kind of discovered going a bit deeper in the way I was managing certain project is it's also not cultural in terms of just the content or what people like, but even cultural in terms of the way they pay, the way they accept pricing, the way they accept the subscription model. You really need to be local in so many aspects of the relationship with the consumer, I guess.
Yes, 100%. And I'm lucky enough to be working with one of the world's leading, the world's leading and most sophisticated global OTT provider out there. So we have a lot of stuff within our technology stack that allows us to mitigate a lot of those issues, whether it be payments, pricing, changing pricing by region, etc. So we're able to do that through the experience and the technology that has been built here at DAZN. So some of those nuances are kind of I forget about because of how advanced we are in that space, and a lot of the challenges that we had back in the day, Carlo. So yeah, quite blessed to be working with an organization provider that is able to kind of take that thinking out of my head. But yeah, definitely thinking local about pricing strategies and things like that is very important, because price points for a global proposition needs to reflect what the region and the audience in a region is willing to pay, isn't it? So yeah, we do a lot of analysis and strategy work around that for big global propositions like the NFL Game Pass product, etc., which I know you worked on pre us taking it and things like that. But yeah, that's definitely something that is really super important ahead of season starts as we enter into seasons.
And so there's one soundbite that I want to keep, that is, for vendors, build a tool that people forget about it, which sounds counterintuitive, but in this meaning, it's very powerful. So absolutely, really works. I don't have to worry about anymore. Just remember to renew the contract at some point.
Yeah.
Sorry, playing my vendor role as much as I can in this case for once. Va bene. So it's been really fascinating and really deep into direct-to-consumer marketing. Again, as I always try to do with people that have really done it, experienced it, learn about it, and have a lot of content to provide to my audience. So I'm really grateful, Marc. And lovely setup you have there.
Thank you for having me.
That's really cool.
You're the fashionista. You're the guy with the scarf. I needed to
with an horrible background today because of where I am. I'm sorry. I cannot compare. I will need to edit maybe my background for this video.
Well, yeah. Again, AI. You can use AI for that now, can't you?
Absolutely. Thank you, Marc. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Carlo.